When I was growing up, a Rubik's Cube was the pinnacle of puzzles, so much so that if you knew how to solve one, you were considered a genius by the other kids. I was not a genius. So that got me thinking, as I'm moving through life trying to experience all the adventures it has to offer, why not look back and try to redeem myself by finally mastering the cube? And to make things a little more interesting, just solving it isn't enough. I want to do it quickly. So with a few clicks and the magic of editing, I now have a Rubik's Cube. Let's begin. Alright, I need to dust off some memories from like 20 years ago. Jesus, I sound old. Anyway, let's see how much I remember without any help. Hey, that's not too bad. I got one complete side. I can't remember how to do the second layer for the life of me, but maybe I can go figure that out later. Yeah, that's not happening. Okay, I've been smashing my head at this problem for like 30 minutes now, and I can't figure it out, so I think it's time to consult the infinite knowledge of the internet. Searching through YouTube, there are quite a few videos to choose from. I just picked the top ones from the list and then went at it. Alright, I've watched about 10 videos at this point, and I'm noticing some recurring themes. There are a few methods that people use at each stage of solving the Rubik's Cube, and I will be using something known as the Cfop method. So Cfop stands for cross, first two layers, orientation of the last layer, and permutation of the last layer. Essentially, you start to solve the cube by creating a cross on your starting side. Convention has you start on the white side first. Next, you solve for the corners of the first layer and the edges of the second layer. The orientation of the last layer involves another cross, and the permutation of the last layer means, shifting the pieces around in a pattern until it's finally solved. So as you saw, I can now solve a Rubik's Cube, and that feels pretty good. Now for the next part, can I do it quickly? So to see how I measure up, I wanted to check out what a professional time looks like, and then maybe I can use that to set a goal for myself. What the? Excuse me? How do you even think that fast? Alright, I definitely need to temper my expectations here. Let's say I do it in less than 1 minute. That is still about 15 times slower than what we just saw, and I think it's a reasonable balance of me pushing myself and actually being achievable. So now that I've proven that I can do it and I know my goal of sub 1 minute, I think it's just a brute force muscle memory approach for me, and I think that should get me there. Let's get to work. Okay, I've made a significant amount of progress in just a few days. These are my times when I started, and these are my last 10 times. But I think I'm starting to hit a plateau. I can only brute force my way so far, and the techniques that I have can solve the cube, but I just can't seem to get it underneath the 2 minute and 15 second mark. I think I need to research what the pros do and see if I can learn something from that. Okie dokie, I have learned 2 more things. 1. There are more efficient steps that I could be taking in some of my solves. Instead of repeating a particular pattern over and over again until I get the desired result, I can be smarter about it, because every pattern has a mirrored version. As an example, if I'm doing a pattern one way and it rotates pieces to the right, I can do the mirrored pattern the other way and it'll move pieces to the left instead. So instead of rotating to the right 3 times, I can just move it to the left once, and that should be much faster. The second thing is, nobody in the competitive scene is using a Rubik's brand cube. A lot of them are using other brands like Gone. Gone. This thing. So some of these models offer magnets embedded in the cube, and that helps it snap into positions faster. That plus adjustable tension allows for speed cubers to change the feel of how their cube spins and make it better suited for them. Also, for the integrity of this video, I made sure that these cubes are regulation, and if you're curious, you can check the link below. This cube feels completely different than the Rubik's Cube. It's lighter, it's faster, things just snap into place, and it feels so much better. I actually had my times go up since I started using this. I chalk it up to just getting adjusted to the new weight, but as expected, with a lot of practice, my times eventually went down. My best time so far is 60.7 seconds. I am so close, I can just taste it. I feel like I am right there. Okay, here's attempt 100. Attempt 106. Attempt 112. Attempt 115. Okay, I think I am getting in my head. I'm kind of messing up really simple moves, and my hands are kind of jittery, and the cube is just... I keep messing things up. So I think I'm gonna take like a short break and then we will revisit this and hopefully come back with some renewed vigor. All right, friends, this is attempt 125. I really hope this is it. All right, this is attempt 126. Let's go. Me, no, no. I messed up in one part and it's 101.89. Attempt 131. I did it! 56 seconds! Nikki! Yay! Woo! Oh. Oh. Yes! Okay, so now that I finally got the sub 1 minute solve under my belt, what do I think about this whole experience? This was both easier and much harder than I was expecting. It was easier because the steps and the patterns that you need to learn aren't that bad. I was able to watch a few tutorials and solve the cube like 20 minutes later, but solving it in less than 1 minute? That took the next week, and I was putting in 2 to 3 hours a day, every day, just practicing and practicing. I mean, you saw, it took 131 tries, and that's not even counting all of the practice sessions that I had in between where I'm not timing myself. All of this practicing, almost to the point where I was going crazy and I was driving Nikki crazy because all of the twisting and the clacking. So she has the patience of a saint, and a big thank you to her. Now about the cube itself. I noticed that the solve times will vary quite a bit due to the random nature of scrambling. Sometimes things just work out and you can skip entire steps. Others, you just get bad luck and that step requires a lot more moves to solve. Overall, I think this was a really rewarding experience and I'm happy I did it. I learned a new skill to make my younger self proud, I challenged myself to see how far I could push my abilities, and I learned quite a bit about both the activity and the community. If I decide to keep going down this path, I think it would be fun to enter the competitive scene and see what it's all about. I want to give a final shout out to Richard, Daniel, and Vineeth, and thank you so much for giving me tips along this journey. A lot of my success is due to the friends that I have, so this is no exception, and again, thank you so much. The links to everything that I used in this video can be found in the description down below, and as always, good luck, have fun, peace.